What's up, everyone? Welcome to the
You.
Wizards Pulse podcast. My name is Jeremy John, aka Suge Knight Shyamalan. Here with my co-host, Juwanza, also known
Yeah.
by Wanza.
Yes,
What's going on,
sir.
man?
What's good? What's good, man? Feeling good, feeling great. Predictable loss tonight. First game in the books, but we're gonna break it down for the fans. You already know.
Yep. We are here, episode 2. We
Mm-hmm.
are going to recap game 1 against the Milwaukee Bucks. The good, the bad, and the ugly.
Mostly
And
ugly.
then we're going to continue talking about some things that we left off the first episode. Just have a few questions about the season and the team. We'll get into that. Just want to remind you all to make sure you like and subscribe to this podcast if you're watching on YouTube. And if you are listening, whether on a podcast platform or online, make sure you subscribe to the podcast. We are now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and other major podcast platforms. So make sure you subscribe so you can be up to date to all of our content.
Please.
Let's just get right into it. Game number 1 in the books, and the Washington Wizards are 0-1. They faced the Milwaukee Bucks and lost 133-120. And I must say, even though it was a 13-point loss, there was points in the game where it felt like it might have been a 30 or 40-point loss.
Easily. They definitely pulled up off the gas a little bit on us, especially you can see with Giannis, who was barely, I think he had like 11 minutes in that first quarter and a half or so. Like, he was really taking his time. Didn't make a difference in the end in terms of what we could do to stop him. But yeah, they were warming up against us. You could tell.
Oh, man. Once again, like I said, the Milwaukee Bucks won the game 133-120. Leading scorer for the Wizards was Chris Middleton, who had his return to Milwaukee. We'll get into that a little bit later. Led with 23 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. Kaishan George, 21 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists. Alex Sarr, 10 points, 12 rebounds, so he had a double-double. Bud Carrington had 11 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. CJ McCollum, not so great game, 9.6 rebounds, 3 assists on 4 for 14 from the field. But Trey Johnson, in his regular season debut, had 16 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. Cam Whitmore added 14 points. And Corey Kispert with 3 threes throughout the game and had 11 points. Let's now get to the Milwaukee Bucks. Kevin Porter Jr., before he got injured in the first quarter, had 10 points. Was leading the Bucks, leading the Bucks in points in the first quarter until he rolled his ankle and he did not return. It was diagnosed as a ankle sprain.
That freight train boy was no joke.
Kyle Kuzma, 12 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists in his game against the Washington Wizards. Gary Trent Jr., 17 points. AJ Green, with 11 points, and some guy by the name of Giannis Antetokounmpo had 37 points, 14 rebounds.
Casual 37 on us.
Yes. 16 for 26 from the field in this game. So let's get to the good, I guess, for the Washington Wizards. I don't know how much good we're going to have, but what was some of the good for the Washington Wizards in this game?
I honestly feel like there was some good for sure. I'm gonna start off with the most obvious. Keyshawn George clearly sees himself as an alpha and has been given the green light. Like, he's taking it up the court. He's doing everything. He's taking a shot any chance he has. He's making sure it goes up. He's also was really active on the boards too. Not the most efficient game we've ever seen, but he was aggressive. When he was in there, you felt his presence immediately. And it's clear, it's been communicated to him that, you got the green light, go for it. He was playing like he was one of the vets in terms of amount of shots, in terms of aggressiveness. Like, he was not shy at all. I love to see it. I think that bodes real well for his development. It says a lot about him, also his mentality. Like as a second year player going into this and saying, I'm gonna play like I'm the man. Who's gonna stop me? So I love seeing that. What do you think about Keyshawn's game?
I think Keyshawn played pretty well. One thing that was mentioned during the telecast was his performance with Team Canada and the FIBA Americas when they ended in fourth place, unfortunately for Canada. But he got a lot of experience. He was considered the best player on that team. And while he was playing for the Team Canada, he did handle the basketball a lot. He was the pseudo point guard on the team, so he definitely seemed a lot more comfortable with the ball in his hand and orchestrating the offense compared to his rookie year last season. So that's something that I did notice, and I would say that was one of the good things that came with the Washington Wizards. Another good for the Washington Wizards was Trey Johnson coming off the bench. 16 points. Once he hit his first jumper, then he went on a roll, and he was pretty effective for the Washington Wizards. And then also in that third quarter run where they got the lead down or the deficit down to single digits, he was part of that run. So that's what I would say is another good for this team.
Definitely. You love to see it with Trey Johnson. He's really, you could tell, 16. And this is a 16 without any plays running for him. I'm hoping Keith has that in his bag eventually. I want to see Trey is more like a movement kind of shooter. But even without that, just picking his spots, taking his time. I saw, his first shot off that elbow, a lot of it was just threes. People are going to start respecting him real soon if he keeps playing like this. So, you love to see Trey Johnson really putting his stamp on this game and not showing any real fear, I thought. So that's exciting. That's exciting for all of us, for real.
Yeah. Any other, I guess, players or any other things that happened with the Washington Wizards in game one that you would say that you would consider good?
I liked Cam. The way his impact on the game. I think, what was it, 14? It was an active 14 too. You could tell he plays with his body a lot. There's still some things we want to work on. It can't just be bully ball for him, but I liked Cam and what he brought. And what's really interesting, something to keep our eyes on, if you really think about it, there's potential, just a little sneaky potential for a really solid two-man game with Keyshawn and Cam, right? Because I saw they had a little extra chemistry as opposed to some of the others. You place them on the same side of the court a couple times, a little back and forth. I think that can make a real difference in terms of pulling the defense in, because you're not fully sure who to key in on when it's those two on the same side of the court. So I'm excited about that in terms of offense. Defense, we're gonna have to work on that for sure. Cam was active though. He was there. He was active, and not the worst game I've ever seen. So I respect that. But that was another little silver lining in this semi blowout. I thought Cam showed up well.
Yeah. Let's now get to the bad.
Here we go.
For me, the bad was CJ McCollum. And look, I know we praised him a lot in episode 1, and my feelings about him in episode 1 still stand. But for game 1, he did not play well. He did not play like the vet that he is.
Yeah.
And it is game 1. So I'm not that's why I didn't put it in the ugly category, because it is game 1. He did miss some shots, and it was one of those things that if he played better, maybe we would have been in the game later into the game. So I would put that in the bad category when it comes to the Wizards versus the Bucks. Yeah. What about you? Or what do you have to add on that?
Well, Juwanza? Really, just real quick with CJ, he just was off. I loved so much of what he was doing, but the ball was not going through the hoop, so it did not make a difference. You can tell he's going to be all right. He's settling in. It's just game 1, so we're not going to, light any fires, anything. But one of the things I love talking about is sort of the mental side of the game. So I just got to be curious. One of the underrated pieces of being a vet, and we talked a little bit about this last episode, of being a vet on a tanking team, is can you stay focused enough when you feel like we're gonna lose anyway? Can you lock in enough? And I'm hoping he's able to do that, because I want him to teach these other kids how to do it. But he did seem a little off for someone who looked sharp in preseason. So for someone who's a professional scorer, dropped 50 on us, last year, as we always talk about, can drop 20 in his sleep. Just a little bit like, okay, he's a little off. It's the first game. He'll be fine. I'm just hoping he can stay locked in. That's all.
Yes. Any other, when it comes to the bad in tonight's game?
I'll tell you the bad. I don't know if this is the bad or the ugly. Is bad enough. One of the things that's clear to me is there is not a point guard on this roster. It's just, let's stop lying about it. Let's stop forcing things. I don't know if this is a Wizards like disease or something. I swear every draft pick we get in here, someone wants them, force them to be a point guard. Right? Like I remember Troy Brown, people were talking about he might be the point guard.
Oh my goodness.
What are we talking about? People mentioned that for Bilal. Someone wanted him to be point guard.
Johnny Davis.
Don't get me started. Johnny, I need you to be an NBA player before we start talking about a point guard. What are we saying?
And I know it's one game, but right now we are questioning, why is Bud Carrington the point guard of this team?
You want to know the truth? I honestly feel like because he was the shortest of the draft picks, someone said, well, maybe why not? Let's try. Even though he has shown to me he has no point guard skills. Now, this is a personal thing for me. I love a good point guard because it changes the whole complexion of your team. This team needs a solid point guard. I loved what Keyshawn was doing, and I would love for him to have that ball in his hands. It's like spot duty here and there. You know what I'm saying? The whole game, maybe not. And you could see, did anyone get 5 assists tonight? I'd have to double check. Not much more than that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a struggle to keep the ball moving a lot. I've heard some folks say maybe CJ can take over some duty. I don't know if that's his game either.
It's not his game.
The closest point guard I thought we had was probably Dylan Jones, and they let him go. So, and he wasn't even good, by the way. So we don't got a point guard. That's the bad. That worries me going forward, because then it becomes harder to evaluate players if they're not getting the ball in the spots that they're supposed to get the ball. You see what I'm saying? Like, I feel like Trey's going to have to really struggle uphill if he don't got someone really feeding him the ball who has a talent for that kind of thing. So that to me is real bad. Now, we knew it, but a lot of folks have been like, let's try this bub experiment. Let's be honest with ourselves here, folks. He don't got it. That's not his game. Had a pretty decent shooting night, by the way. I like his three. His three is looking real strong. Also played solid defense. Point guard's not his game.
Yeah, it's funny. This is a couple friends of mine that I've got to know over the last few years on social media. We've created a very close-knit community, and we've had this discussion over and over about point guard play. And the Washington Wizards have a lot of issues. We know that. But not having a point guard is one of them, because on top of just the lack of talent and the lack of experience is the lack of an actual point guard that could probably help things when things are not great. You know, we're already behind the 8 ball. Let's not compound that by choosing to not have a point guard. And mind you, I'm not asking for a traditional, I'm going to feed everybody all the time, I'm not going to shoot. No, I understand shooting is something that point guards need to do when it matters. They need to, but the main thing of a point guard is to be, and it sounds such like a cliche, but an extension of the head coach. And in one game, and from what we've seen since last year, I don't think anyone on this team is an extension of Brian Keefe. I don't see it. I don't see. And look, we are fans. That's why we did this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
We are supposed to be the voice of what fans think, and if you ask other Wizards fans, they will probably say the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't see someone out there where their interest is to get everyone involved and then for them to take over when necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Bud Carrington, it's no shade to him, but let's be real. He went to college as a scorer.
Yeah, exactly.
We drafted him as a scorer.
Yep.
And you may be onto something when you say he's one of the shorter guys on the team or in the rotation, so let's just see what he can do. He's okay with the ball handling, so let's just see what he can do. Mm-hmm. That's what I feel like with Bud Carrington, and it's not necessarily him, but it's the team.
Yeah,
that we just don't have a point guard on the team, mm-hmm. and it doesn't help when we have other issues like lack of experience and lack of talent.
Exactly. Well, one quick extra point on this. Part of the OKC model when they were rebuilding, even though it felt like it was just for like a quick second after they got on the picks and stuff, when they were rebuilding was to sort of, I don't want to say sabotage, I feel sort of strong, but to handicap the team in terms of at least a position or two and just say, we're not going to focus on this to ensure that we get some losses. And so I'm wondering if Dawkins took some of that and said, all right, bet. We're going to make sure we don't got a point guard so we don't get too good. Too good meaning, 35, 40 wins or something like that. That could be some of the thought process. I don't know, because I can't imagine they saw this roster and said, bet, we're going to find our point guard somewhere here. He's not here. And I just don't want us going into the draft having to say we got to get someone like Peterson because that sets us up with a lot of risk, So just a thought. I don't, I get the approach. It's just not fun to watch. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. And like I said, no shade to Bud himself.
Nope.
It's just the position that they put him in. So it's like, you know what? It is what it is. But the Washington Wizards need a point guard.
ASAP.
I have something that would fall into the ugly category.
Let's get to it.
Team defense. Like, where is it? Where is the team defense? Yep. And I know it's game one. Mm-hmm. But this has just been something that has been going on for years with this team.
Yeah.
They can't play defense as a team. We are constantly giving up 125 points a game.
Yeah.
Constantly. Like, at one point, it was 6 minutes left in the first quarter, and the Wizards had given up 25 points. That was a pace for a 50-point quarter. Think about that. A 50-point quarter they were on pace for.
Insane. That's insane, dog. And I was told defense was the focus of the team this year. Now, we all know they weren't going to be, world beaters. We all knew that. But there's some solid individual defenders, I thought, on the team. And hopefully, we could work something out to not look like the worst defensive team of all time. That's all I wanted. There's no reason for us to be the worst defensive team of all time. And we will be going for that record. It's just game one, but it looks like we're going for that.
Man, like, and it isn't just the amount of points we're giving up. It's how the points are just scored. Guys are just butt naked, wide open. Like,
crazy.
And you know what? Yes, Giannis had 37 points, but it was all the others that were getting buckets too. That you're just like, come on, man. You know when you're facing a player like Giannis, they're going to get theirs, but you can't let the third, fourth, and fifth leading scorer just go off for easy buckets throughout the game. That has bothered me, not just obviously one game, but it's been bothering me for years with the Washington Wizards.
That makes perfect sense. Like, Gary Trent can't fry you on a regular basis. Like, you have no chance of winning anything if that's the case. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was easy for them. That's what bothered me the most. Like, I thought we were supposed to be a tough out on some of these teams. Once again, just game one, because I know someone's going to listen. They're going to comment. Y'all are, going crazy, setting, the alarms and all that. but we're here watching, and we're just telling you what it looks like. It's wildly disappointing. And like, where is the defense? I don't get it.
Yeah, man. I think this is just an opinion of mine. I think all the great teams that are out there, whether currently or in the past, defense was a must. It wasn't an option. Like, the teams that win play defense for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
And last year you saw with the OKC Thunder, their main thing was defense. We are going to make you turn the ball over. We're going to get into transition. Mm-hmm. And when we aren't in transition, we're going to give the ball to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the MVP. We don't have an MVP player right now, but look, what we have is 5 guys on the court, and they should play defense. I don't want to hear, I'd rather be talentless on offense, but at least we have a defense for now.
Mm-hmm.
And we can just figure things out on offense throughout the year or throughout the years. Mm-hmm. What annoys me is that just not stopping anyone. It does not make any sense for them to be this bad, because the Bucks aren't even like the toughest team, like in terms of these extra players who can take you off the dribble. They got some, but like, we shouldn't have been fried like this. Like, if the Bucks took this game seriously, what are we talking about? They could have easily hit 150. 150 easy. What if they really took it serious? Because yes, to start the third quarter, they were really lackluster to start the third quarter, and that allowed the Wizards to get back into the game, cut it to single digits, but then they just said, okay, and then took off again. Mm-hmm. Took off again, and then the game was never in reach after that. So yeah, that is what I consider ugly for the Washington Wizards.
Yeah. Let me add in one more. Corey Kispert. What's happening, bro? Listen, he hit a couple of threes near the end, and I'm thankful for that.
Yeah, near the end.
First, like 3.5 quarters, his misses were so bad.
Oh my gosh.
It had me look like I'm a Corey defender, by the way. I was telling folks when people were really getting on him, if we get rid of Corey, the first thing that's going to be on our list of needs will be a shooter. We're going to have to get a shooter. Bad year last year, he's going to bounce back. I'm not used to him. He was missing the rim on some shots.
Oh my goodness. There was one where I believe Keyshawn George missed the free throw and got the rebound.
Right.
And then passed it out to, I can't remember who it was, but then they swung it to a wide open Kispert. I'm like, yes, that's going in. And it was at a point in the game where it's like, okay, this three, it's only 3 points, but it could, kind of boost the morale. That man doinked it off the backboard. I was like, oh my goodness, man. You were wide open.
It's crazy. I was watching the Bucks broadcast. I had to pirate the game. Screw you, Monumental. We're gonna talk about that another time, right? So I'm shooting the game, watching the Bucks broadcast, and they were saying, "Hey, you got to watch out. Like when he would catch the ball, watch out for someone like Kispert, because the readout on him is he's gonna hit these shots." And then it was just like doing, like you making other teams' broadcasters look crazy right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is madness. Corey, get it together. I'm not saying you got to be out here like white Reggie Miller, you know what I'm saying? But you have to be a serviceable shooter on this team, or it's not going to work out for you.
Yeah.
You saw Trey just chilling, already looking 10 times better. You halfway out the door. I'm fighting for you, Corey. I'm fighting for you. You letting me down right now. I wasn't a fan of that. That was ugly for me. That was too ugly.
All right, before we, recap or finish up this recap of the game, Chris Middleton returns to Milwaukee.
Yeah.
And on at least the broadcast, they showed how when Chris Middleton got to the team hotel yesterday, there were fans out there who wanted autographs from him, who had old Bucks jerseys. Mm-hmm. He signed all the autographs. They also showed that when the team came into the arena, they had a lot of staff members from the Bucks They had the Bucks. I guess they have like a marching band or a drum corps.
Mm-hmm.
They were out there with the drums, the pom poms. Thank you, Chris. And then after the first TV timeout, they did a big a video montage and great standing ovation and thanked him for his time, things like that. So that was good to see, especially with him being traded last year and now having his chance to go back to Milwaukee and play.
Right.
That was a good thing that they honored him. And to be honest, he was very impactful on that championship team.
Oh, definitely.
He was very impactful even for Giannis's development.
Yep.
To just have another guy who could be a flat out scorer, because that has been the criticism of Giannis, that, hey, he just can't get a bucket in any way. So Chris Middleton was that guy, especially in 2021, who was just getting a bucket.
That's it. I was always a Chris Middleton fan, like you said, played a huge role on that championship team, and it was dope to see the amount of love that he got, because he deserves it. Like, stand up guy, never heard a bad thing about him. Just goes in, puts his hard hat on, goes to work. You gotta respect it. Now I know he's sitting there wondering, if I put in all this work with y'all, why did you send me out like to the wall?
Oh man, a Game of Thrones reference. Right there.
That's where we are right now. Might be a little bit beyond the wall. You know what I'm saying? Out there, they sent this guy to the worst possible situation, and I love it. I'll take him for sure, but I know he's sitting there like, with all this love, I couldn't go to LA, you know what I'm saying? If y'all love me this much, you couldn't find another partner somewhere else. But shout out to him. Hopefully he has an impact on this team if he stays here for longer than 4 months, and those kids learn something from him, especially Keyshawn, as he's a big fan. They're real close, it seems like.
Yeah. I did love the Game of Thrones reference, because I am watching Game of Thrones right now. So when you said the wall, I knew exactly what you meant. And the Washington Wizards, man,
it's tough.
We might be the wall right now.
It's tough. Like, you saw the look. You remember when Poole got signed and they were taking the pictures, the pictures in the beginning of the season, like the sadness in his eyes. You know what I'm saying? Smart. Like, no one's excited right now to come play for us, and that's okay. That time will come. You know what I'm saying? But we have to embrace and admit where we are, and it is what it is.
Oh man. Just quick reminder, make sure you like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Also, follow us on all major social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and X, formerly Twitter, at The Wizards Pulse on all of those platforms. And then also subscribe to our audio format on the podcast platform of your choice. Last week we didn't get to these questions or these topics. The Wizards, these players right now, Wizards players who have let me rephrase that. I know Miss Candelaria will be upset with how I am speaking right now. That I don't have a grasp of the English language right now. Are there any Washington Wizards players who have a high ceiling? And let's start with just this season. Any Wizards players who have a high ceiling?
I really feel like, well, I mean, the most obvious, of course, we've been talking about Keyshawn all night. Like, his ceiling is high. His potential, even if we're just looking at this season, like, why can't he average, 18 and 7 and 4? You know what I'm saying? Like, he has that kind of potential, and that is a key piece. Let me just get on a soapbox for like 10 seconds.
Oh no, go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, okay. This is what I'm saying. Think about it. What we need, what I want out of this season is, if we look at like ranking players, A, B, C, D, A being a franchise player you surround your team around. B being your Robin, C being a good supportive player, all that kind of stuff, just going down. What we need is at least one of these young boys to prove they can be a C plus, B minus player. Just like Amen Thompson. That's who he became in that first season. And what happened? KD, Amen was a big factor in KD going to Houston. It was. Right? We need a player who's like, even if they're not an A+ player, I don't know if I quite see that on the team yet. We'll see. But even if we don't have an A+ player, somebody needs to prove you can be that third, maybe even second option to eventually start to attract some more talent to us. Not talking about KD level exactly, but to attract some more decent talent. So I'm expecting someone like Keyshawn. To me, he has the best chance of getting to that point. Second, real quick, what I would say, if I'm being honest, next up that I would put some real money into might be actually Cam. I really feel like Cam might be next in terms of his potential. He might need some more PT for real, because you can see his ability to score the basket is getting more and more consistent. We saw flashes of it last year, and he's going to get more time this year. And I feel like he has potential to really be able to score on a consistent level. And we need somebody we can rely on, right? And so right now, everything's a little up in the air. We're trying to see who can we really rely on for a solid stat line. And I feel like those two might be the best shot we have in terms of the highest ceiling, at least for this year.
Good one. That's a good one. I'm the player I'm thinking that will possibly have a high ceiling is Trey Johnson. The rookie from Texas, 16 points in his regular season debut. Not as much as VJ Edgecombe, who we may wrap up the show with that one real quick.
He's different already.
But had a very solid debut when it came to points. And I think he's going to have more nights like this. A friend of mine said this, and I don't necessarily believe him. And did I mention? I can't remember if I mentioned it in episode 1, but a friend of mine said, "Hey, man, this Trey Johnson, you know what? I'm gonna leave that alone. I'll leave that alone. I gotta get approval first before I can say that."
Fair. That's real.
But man, let's just say I have a friend of mine who was very high on Trey Johnson.
Okay,
very high, extremely high. But and you know what? I'm high on him too. I think in the long run this season he would look pretty well. He's gonna be probably NBA All Rookie. First team. I think he's going to be one of those guys. And at least what I saw tonight was very promising for me. When it comes to sleepers, though, because that's a different question.
It is.
Who you think is going to be, who's going to have a high ceiling, and who do you think is going to be a sleeper? Those are very unique questions. In your opinion, which Wizards player is going to be a sleeper?
So I'm going, what do they say? Like off the ranch. I'm really gonna stretch this a little bit, but just stick with me. In light of what I saw tonight, in light of the amount of poor defense that was shown, I have a sneaky feeling that a player that was not even on the court will be a sleeper this season. Shout out to Jameer Watkins. I really feel like he is one of the more natural defenders on this team. When we saw him in preseason, he had a natural knack for getting these stocks. I actually hate that term. It's called steals and blocks. We're going to call it stocks because we're lazy. Okay. He has a natural ability to get in passing lanes more than anyone else I saw. He will work his way from the go-go onto this team within the next month or two to be a regular role player, because at some point Keith is going to be like, can anyone play defense in this building? And you're going to see one little hand raised in the back. and it's going to be Jameer. Come on down to the front. I have a strong feeling you're going to see a lot more Jameer. He's my sleeper. Now that's sleep. That's that REM sleep right there. But it's going to be Jameer. Watch out for him and the role he might end up playing on his team, especially on the perimeter.
Wow, I'm not gonna lie, was not expecting that answer from you. And look, I'll be paying attention to him if he gets that opportunity to come up onto the NBA roster. My sleeper, and a lot of people are gonna be like, "What are you saying when you say this?" I think Alex Sarr is going to have his breakout year. I think it's going to happen. I'm very high on him. When he had that game last year in the summer league where he had 0 points and did absolutely nothing. Everyone was clowning him.
I was
already calling him a bust. And I remember saying like, "Hey, pump the brakes. It's summer league. This is the time that guys are going to just try to figure things out." And he's also playing against guys who are giving it their all, guys who are not going to see the NBA are giving it their all, and they're trying to show out. Look, just give him some time. Last year he started out slow, and everyone was like, "See, he's a bust." Then he actually got, I believe, what was it? The month of I think it was March. I think he got a rookie Eastern Conference. I think rookie of the month or something like that.
Yeah.
And then he had the game against Jokic in Denver where the Wizards win, but he dominated in that game. Jokic could not stop him, and he was irritating Jokic. But then some other games happened. I'm very high on Alex Sarr. I think he's going to be a sleeper. I think he's going to be one of the better centers in this game. Now, mind you, I don't even think he's really a center, but he's one of the tallest guys on the team. So he's now playing the position. But because he's playing the position, though, I think he's going to be one of the better ones later this year or throughout this year. So to me, that is the sleeper that I'm thinking that I have when it comes to the Washington Wizards.
That's a good one. And we messed up not mentioning him until this late into the show. I think that's a good point. Now, first of all, let me just state this. I am a fan of every Wizard player, and I need them and want them all to be stars. I want that desperately. I am also, I would say, the leader of the Alex Sarr might not be amazing fan club. I just have doubts about him consistently. But what I love is that there was some progress from last year. Someone told him, "Hey, stop playing games. You too big for all this flopping around. You too big to be pulling up for these weird fadeaways at 4 feet when you right beside the basket." And he said, "Okay, bet." And we didn't see a lot of him offensively in this game, but I got the impression someone was in his ear and was telling him, "Listen, forget all that offense. We got enough offense. Focus on rebounding, focus on defense." And he did a decent job. We want more always, but he did a decent job. So I'm not mad at you for that. He is the was a second overall pick. So it's like weird. It's like, is he a sleeper? But on this team where we have people peaking, he's typically not talked about as one of those peaking. And so you might be right. I'm not mad at it at all.
Yep. Excuse me, did you have anything else to add on this topic, Juwanza?
In terms of sleepers?
Yeah.
I think that's it for now. I mean, I'm hoping for some more. I'm hoping for some more people to show up, some surprises. Shout out real quick to oh no, I did not just forget his name. The other first round pick we had from last year.
Will last year. Will Riley, yes.
From this past draft, my bad. From Riley, another sleeper. I liked a lot of what I saw in Summer League. He barely touched the court tonight, but that's okay. We got time. I want him to go into the G League and crush it. Make us have to bring you up. I think Riley, once he puts on some weight, man, looks like he has cardio for breakfast. That guy is tiny. God, you know what I'm saying? But once he puts on some weight, he has all the confidence in the world. So we'll see. Will Riley got some potential.
Yeah. Before we get out of here, let's and I'm having a here we go. Before we get out of here, just around the NBA, first night, we've had the OKC Thunder raise the banners for their championship.
Yeah.
And they faced the Houston Rockets. I believe that was the NBA's troll move for Kevin Durant. Oh, new team. Yeah, you know, some expectations. Oh, you will play on the ring ceremony night of your former team. That game went to double overtime, and the Houston Rockets won that game in double overtime. Kevin Durant looked very lethargic in the fourth quarter.
Little bit.
I don't know what that was about, but looked very lethargic in the fourth quarter, and the 2 overtimes. He had a total of 2 points.
I don't know, man. Like, you know, Father Time comes for us all, and everyone was saying KD's gonna be able to hit jumpers till he's 45, and he might. But what I saw from him getting moved off his spot, a lot of jogging. I don't know if he's putting up the defensive role, like the plays that we would hope. I don't know. He's supposed to be a big deal on this team, and he's gonna have to show up a little more, to be honest. So yeah. Questions about KD.
Yep. And then the second game, the Golden State Warriors visited the Los Angeles Lakers without LeBron James, who's going to be out for damn near a month. The Luka-led Lakers and the Golden State Warriors won that game, I believe. They won that game, right? And I say I believe because I fell asleep. I just
listen. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like these late Western Conference games, I don't know, bro. I'm trying.
You know what? For me, Juwanza, it's not the late games. It's just that matchup. I'm tired of seeing the Lakers and the Warriors in a regular season game.
Right.
Like we've seen it so many times. Like
we're over it. And you know, this is something you don't know about me. We're gonna probably find out regularly on this podcast. I am a true Warriors hater.
Oh, okay.
I hate them all with a passion. I'll go into why in coming podcasts for sure. But all I'm saying is the amount of passes that they get. Draymond Green is so ridiculous. How he's still in the league blows my mind. The first 5-7 minutes of the game on the bench. And everyone goes, oh, Draymond. Draymond. Steph, I still don't even like Clay in Dallas. So I'm over the Warriors. I'm with you. They're on primetime way too much. They're old and they're uninteresting, but we're forced to watch them the whole year, it feels like.
And mind you, I understand the game was scheduled because it's LeBron and Steph.
Right.
Look, the NBA, and not just the NBA as a league, some of these players got to be like, hey, I want to be the guy that the league is going to be putting on 50 times a year. Like, and I know NBC needed a West Coast game or a Western Conference game just to put something on, which, by the way, NBC, their return to the NBA. I know it's only night one, but they did a great job with the presentation.
Yeah.
The personalities did a great job. I know a lot of people say Reggie Miller's corny, but Reggie Miller does know what he's talking about when he's a color analyst. Jamal Crawford did a good job. Mike Tirico is Mike Tirico.
Bro.
He's great at what he does. And then Noah Eagle with Grant Hill, they did a good job. Even the in studio crew. You know, they did a very good job for night one.
Right.
Let's be real. It still was night one. I know some of them have had broadcasting experience already, and some of them already did stuff when it came to the Olympics back in 2024. But for it to be NBA and you know, highly anticipated. I think they did a really good job.
I was impressed. Listen,
Yeah.
they had me when as soon as you hit that round ball
Round
rock.
ball rock.
Listen, I was already locked in. Now they did finesse us a little bit with this Jordan. Like they're gonna just sort of work out this interview. They're gonna stretch this interview out for 82 games. I guess I don't know what the plan is. When they first said, "Yeah, we got Jordan as one of the analysts," I said, "Wait a second." But Jordan doesn't really do that for real. We sure? It's gonna be the interview from his documentary done over. That's what it's gonna feel like. But I'm a Jordan guy. Jordan over LeBron, by the way. I'm a Jordan guy, so I'll take it. But I was excited. It did bring some hype to the game that I felt like the NBA let us down, especially ESPN let us down for the championship. OKC and the Pacers, that had no buzz to it, and they should have made it so there was buzz. And the NBC did better than the finals presentation, so I'm locked in.
Yeah. Before we get out of here, other NBA news. VJ Edgecombe in his NBA debut, or regular season debut, 34 points, most points in a rookie debut since Wilt Chamberlain did it.
You in Wilt Chamberlain sentences already? What are we talking about?
34 points, and his teammate Tyrese Maxey had 40 points, and they ended up winning the game by 1 versus the Celtics. And the reason why I had to pause was because last I checked, they were losing. Right. They ended up winning the game 117-116 in spite of Joel Embiid's 4.6 rebound, 2 assist game. Embiid is cooked right now.
He's done. But Edgecombe, I don't know. Listen, it's game 1 once again. That's crazy. That's crazy. He's not good yet. He's warming up. What are we about to see right now? Like, is Philly about to make some noise? People are counting them out because of Joel. No one feels like Embiid's really going to be there, and you can't do much without him. I'm a Maxey fan, and clearly he's a beast, but he can't carry the team by himself. You got Edgecombe looking like a young Westbrook with a better shot. I don't know. I don't know what's about to happen. This might be a year for the books. We'll see.
We will see. Before we get out of here, just want to make sure you like and subscribe to the podcast. If you're on YouTube, make sure you hit that like button. Hit the bell so you can subscribe and get up to date on anytime we drop an episode or a short. Also, make sure you follow us on all social media platforms at The Wizards Pulse. We are on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and X, formerly Twitter, at The Pulse. So
about to make a MySpace page, so check that one out too.
MySpace. Oh man, any last words or thoughts?
Man, Juwanza, I'm just excited we get a chance to actually talk about games instead of what could be, what might be, hoping and praying. I'm excited we actually get to talk about games. That's important. Also, for those still sticking with us, keep an eye out. We got some special stuff in store for you guys coming up. We're warming up. We're just getting our feet wet too. But I promise you, we got some stuff in store. So you guys keep an eye out. We're gonna change the podcast game as soon as possible.
All right. Thank you, Juwanza, for everything that you do. Until next time. Wizards Pulse. See ya.